Hello, welcome to the Social Club. As you know, from the last couple of weeks, we've been doing the Golden Goal with Bet Victor, which basically means that you pick a minute and the goal scorer from an upcoming game, and then if you win it, you win a slice of cash. This week, it's £25,000. The game is Liverpool versus Watford, and we're doing our picks a little bit later in the show. But first, Wayne Rooney, should he go back to Everton? Ped, you would be all over this, I imagine. Yeah. Wayne Rooney back to Goodison Park?
Yeah, of course.
Why?
Because it makes sense on every single level.
Really? Every single level.
We are desperate for a number 10 style player. I mean, we haven't even got... Yesterday we had like a kid that we brought in from Sheffield United in the summer to be in the under-23s, like a development player on the bench, because we have no other striker. We've nobody else. So from that point of view, it makes perfect sense. He's a player who's not playing for Man United. Even though we're above Man United in the table, it just makes it just from that point of view, I still think he's got a little bit left in him, and I still think you get a little bit out of him coming back to Everton. I think a new challenge and all that brings. From a PR point, I think it's perfect for us as well. It's a big story with big news. We talked about this in the summer that Everton were after a marquee player just to almost get the ball rolling on whatever this new thing is at Everton. We tried to get, the likes of Matt and people like that, but we just couldn't do it. It's sometimes really hard to get that first one. Now, whether people think Rooney it would be right to be the first one, for me it would make sense because he still is a massive name in football. We're still talking about people. He's still back page news. That's exactly what we need, and I still think he's a good footballer. PR's perfect. Commercially, it's still a big thing as well. And for me, the perfect scenario would be get him on loan if we can in January. See what he's still got left in him. I don't think Man United, as a club or as fans, would be too heartbroken if they lost Wayne Rooney. Yeah. I think the only thing he's got left to prove there is I think he probably wants Bobby Charlton's record. Yeah. And that's probably the last thing he wants. Now, maybe he's got to bite the bubble. And just say the bullet. Sorry, not the bubble. I'm on painkillers. I'm on meds. Maybe bite the bubble.
Bite the bubble.
I don't know. Maybe he needs to bite the bullet.
West Ham game yesterday.
Yeah, maybe he needs to pop the bullet.
Yeah, maybe he does. I've heard that a few times on a Saturday night.
He needs to stop the fucking crack.
Yeah, get off the gear. Just get off the gear. Can we cut all this time?
Spin the screw. Go on, carry on.
Get him back.
It would be good. Get him back.
Do you not think it's a bit of a kick in the teeth to Everton fans though? Because commercially I can understand it, but there's a bit of spin there because it was 2004 when he left, wasn't he? Under Everton fans weren't happy at the time.
Most people don't have cars that old.
That's it. But you're looking at it now, and I go, back then he was going to be a great player, and it's a kick in the teeth that he left you back then. Yeah. When he was a developing talent and he needed developing. Now, I feel like Everton would have to indulge him when he's past his best. And that to me is crazy.
That's the thing for me on the Rooney thing coming back. I agree that existed potential, that he comes back and he goes, back where I belong, back where if Everton had been the club I needed them to be at a state at, yada, yada, yada. It goes two ways. He takes up that mantle like Shearer going to Newcastle and goes, this is how good I am, I'm doing it for my hometown club, blah, blah, blah. Or Wayne Rooney continues to be the declining, waning talent that he is, and he's now no longer a Man United who have that level of expectation and maybe that discipline in place. That's the flip side of it, that you could have a Wayne Rooney come back to Everton, be sat on a lot of money without any.
10 anyway.
He's not. Honestly, he's not. You can't.
Well, you would have to.
You have like 4 number 10s.
Do you think Everton would have to indulge him?
You can't have enough. You can't have enough good players at your football club, can you? You can't.
Do you bring him in? What happens to Barkley?
Well, he leans off him. He develops him because his
signs from Man United for ridiculous money.
If he came, the same sort of thing we were talking about Zlatan earlier. If he came, Rooney, he's going to want to start every week. And as Paul said, he's a declining player. I haven't seen Rooney play good for a couple of seasons now. I mean, for long periods. I think he could come in and hold back players.
If he's going to play well again, it's going to be at Everton. Exactly. It's not going to be anywhere else. That's the thing.
He could go abroad, couldn't he?
I don't think he'll improve anywhere else.
I don't want to insult the lad, but I just don't see him going anywhere abroad.
Why? He could go to the MLS. He could go.
He's in a comfort zone of where, you know, he's still, his mum and dad still live in Liverpool. His mum and dad still in Liverpool. He's practically always here.
LA Galaxy.
I just don't see it though.
I like Liverpool, but LA's nice.
I just don't see him doing that. And a lot of people talk about this, the money's on at Man United. He's not going to get that money anywhere unless he goes to China. And again, I don't see him go to China.
He could possibly go Europe as well, you know. Like
Can
you
you imagine
like
Wayne Rooney goes to China? He's the kind of guy who goes to a Chinese
still a big
and orders
name.
fish and chips, isn't he? You know what I mean?
Hold on, like you said, right? He's still a big
ham, egg
name.
and chips type of a meal. Like, you kidding me, lads? No?
He's still a big name. He's still a big draw, like you said, right? He could possibly go to.
I do appreciate that, Rob. I just don't think he would. And you're right what you're saying there, Chris. About indulging, he could just peter out and become nothing at Man United, you know, just drift off at Man United and just be left on the sidelines, or he could come and get a new challenge. And as you said, I could only imagine him coming to Everton and getting that challenge. And I think what the other side of it is, and like you just said, you look at people like Ross Barkley and you think, well, would that stunt his development? Yeah. I don't think it would. I think
it depends what Wayne Rooney comes. You're right. If he comes as the guy who's got something to prove and he's hungry and he wants to succeed, what a role model for Barkley. But if he comes the other guy who thinks I was too big for Everton at 16, I'm too big for Everton at 31, that's not the best.
That's the flip side of it though as well. When he did leave the club, there was a lot of people telling us why he was leaving the club. Full stories never really come out. We used to have a guy at Everton who has been around a few clubs called Trevor Birch. He's basically a financial guy. He's an Evertonian. He lasted 30 days at the club or something like that because he basically told Bill Kermit that if he didn't sell his only one asset, the club was going to go bust. He left the club not long after Wayne Rooney left the club. The story was put out that Wayne Rooney demanded to leave and all the rest of it. If Wayne Rooney had not left Everton would have become Leeds. It's as simple as that. He was the only asset we had, and if he hadn't left the club, so then you start looking at it from the other side and go, well, was he asked nicely to leave the club maybe, or you know, so you can't.
But then if he was asked nicely to leave and he said yeah, and then got the type of media spin from Everton that he got at the time, he'd be fuming with the club.
Did it really matter? Did it really matter about the spin? All the story was him. He went and scored in his first Man United game, a hat-trick. Do you really think he was looking in the back mirror?
Well, I would be like, why'd they shut the door on me there? Why are all the fans that I grew up as a part of hate me? Why have the club done that to me? That's what
I'm saying.
Well, I understand that.
Most Everton fans want him back.
I think we'll put it. The way I look at it is,
what would be the percentage?
He came and played in Duncan Ferguson's testimonial, put an Everton shirt on, and the crowd went mad. You know, as in they were happy.
Short memories.
So
what would you say would be the percentage of fans that would want him back?
Long memories. I think 75% of the fans would be happy to have him back. Okay. I think there's an element who've been, you looked at this week, have been putting all the pictures of him kissing the badge and all that. But you got to remember, he was a kid, and I don't think he was.
He's football.
Most schooled.
Yeah,
kid either.
You know why you don't think he could go abroad as well, Ped?
I don't want to insult the lad. I think he's grown up. I think he's got a bit more of a world view since he left us, because clearly he's gone and won everything. And that's the other thing about it as well. He's won everything. It's not like he went away and did fuck all with his career. He's done everything. Yeah. So
like you say, it all just boils down to what is his level of motivation and desire. Because you're right. I think he could do 2 years of it and still go to the MLS, couldn't he, if he wanted to?
The thing about it is as well, there's clearly the club want him. Because
Koeman mentioned it the weekend.
Koeman mentioned it, Phil Jagielka's mentioned it, and Ken Wright, well, I imagine if they build this new ground, they put a big picture of him on the side of it.
I think Ken Wright's been writing love letters to him every week anyway.
He writes love letters to practically everyone. The club want him back, and I think they're putting feelers out there, and it could get done. And that's why I think a loan would make sense for everybody. Just to get that, just to see that, get that feeling.
Can't see Man United loaning out.
Well, I don't think it's outside the realms of possibility.
He's one of them players though. Now he's been at United so long, he's not in the first team where they could conceivably go like Petr Cech to you guys. He's played and he's won
like
everything.
Manchester
United could go, you know what? You've been a great servant, and you want to go back to your hometown club.
It could be like a Wilshere situation
at City,
where, like he says, I want to play. I need to play every week. I don't know.
But also, I think Mourinho would probably be happy to have one less headache I don't mean, you know, I'm not saying Rooney, but just not have that media spotlight of having to worry about Rooney all the time.
Yeah, no, it's gonna
and
be
they'll spin it, like Robbie just said, then you spin and go, oh, he needs games, we'll reassess in the summer.
No, you're right. It could potentially be a very good fit for Everton. And sometimes you're right. Sometimes whether people rate Rooney or not, his stock in world football is still very, very high. You know, you can't be the cover star of FIFA for that long and not still be well regarded. You know, and that could be what kickstarts Everton when people go, oh, well, Wayne Rooney plays for you. Well, I wouldn't mind coming to play along him. You know,
the only thing with the load is, if Manchester United and you guys and all of us could be in a battle, it could be stupid of them.
Or Mourinho's thinking ahead, like when he gave Lukaku to us from Chelsea and thinks I'll give them a player who'll take points off everybody else. It depends how they see us. I mean, no, Mourinho probably doesn't see us at all. So I just think that makes sense. If you look at it from a short-term point of view, you think get him on loan and see what will happen.
Yeah, well, I've just received a note to remind us of something we should have done 10 minutes ago. Let's do our Bet Victor picks.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Liverpool-Watford is the game. You've got to pick your first goal scorer and the minute in which they will score to be with a chance of winning 25 grand. It's completely free to enter. You don't have to deposit, so you can just go in there, sign up, and get your free spin at it, so to speak. Chris, what are you going for?
I'm going to go Mane 9.
Mane 9?
Yeah, I think, you know, we saw last weekend that he's getting into the right positions. You know, that run from the right-hand side. I think if we start well at home, Mane could be one of the guys.
Just give us the numbers. I don't want the spiel.
I'll go with Roberto Firmino 7.
Why?
Because goals score early and then it's done. So there we go. Robbie, what are you going for?
I got Troy Deeney.
Of course you will.
11th minute.
Pez?
Henderson 14.
Ridiculous. That's just
it's worth having a punt on that now that he said it.
I just seen a shirt with Henderson 14 on it. There you go.
So yeah, let us know what you picked you're going for, and you can go over to the Bet Victor website. The link will be in the video info underneath if you want to play along with us. If you want to win money, then I'd go with my suggestion. Not that it's stood me in good stead so far, but you know, first time for everything. Yes, Rooney. Show of hands. Should Rooney go back to Everton? Hands up for yes.
Yeah, for him. I'm not sure whether for the Everton fans, but yeah, for him.
We have consensus.
That's why I've got an Everton channel
on the social club. My word, what is going on? Let us know your thoughts on Wayne Rooney in the comments below. And as I say, if you want to play along with the Bet Victor Golden Goal, you can do by clicking the link in the video info underneath. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the Ball Street YouTube channel.